Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Matthew with Pro Sound and Stage Lighting. And next to me, we got this guy from Global Truss. His name is Donald Hogger. Donald, thank you so much for joining us, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me. It was going to be fun.
So we got Donald here. We're going to talk about some global trussing to help you guys out. We had a couple questions here sent in by some of our viewers and on social media. So the first question we have is, who are the customers or the businesses that need truss solutions?
That's pretty easy. I think the customer end of things, I think probably just James.
Just James?
Just James.
Just James.
Just one guy. That one guy. He's the only one that needs trussing, right? No. Customers, it's pretty straightforward. I think, for the most part, I think DJs, mobile DJs, can use truss in all sorts of different ways, right? They have lights and that sort of thing. It's a mobile application. It fits in their cars for the most part. Production companies, companies do concerts and that sort of thing. Trade shows. When you go to different trade shows, companies, you'll see probably about 20 to 30% of the booths out there are using truss. And a few sort of hidden behind the scenes ones would be like marketing companies. A lot of marketing companies, they tend to want to use signs and banners and things like that. So sign companies, they need the structure. They need to get their advertisement, pieces up in the air and that sort of thing. And retail environment, because trussing is not just structural. It's actually the form of it's, aesthetically it looks good, right? So as far as a design element, a lot of people like to use that material.
Excellent. You guys have some very unique pieces as well, too. I just did one for a morning news show, and they even have a base plate with some casters on it. So it's a very innovative company as well, too.
Oh, cool.
Next question we got here was, what are the most common shapes and sizes of truss?
Well, the common shapes is either straight is probably the most common shape. A 10-foot stick of truss is easy to design with. Breaking dimensions up in 10 is very easy, right? So I would say the straight pieces, maybe circular arcs and that sort of thing is pretty common in design.
What about some of the actual finished designs that you do? I know we have probably the most common one for me is a goalie post, where you kind of go up, over, and then down. What are some of the other shapes that you see?
The most popular, to start with, the most basic would be a totem. Totem is just a stick of truss that goes up vertically on a base plate. Okay. Functionally, it works well. You put a light fixture above people's head and light it from the inside. It's, again, the aesthetics, right? It looks really good. It looks classy. Warms up into the trussing itself. So that would be probably the most popular. Then we have the goalie post design, where it's up, over, and down, like you mentioned. Yeah. And then from there, you have the common trade show designs with the 10 by 30, 10 by 20s, and things like that.
Excellent. So another question we got here is, how does truss connect together, and is it universal with other pieces of truss?
Good question. The key to the connection is this guy here.
So this is the magic coupler, huh?
This is the answer to life, right? This is the key to life here. Is the coupler design. A coupling system is actually really popular in Europe. That's where we adopted it. So this piece here, every single piece of truss comes with that, and it's a male to female connection. One side's male, the other side's female. Once the customer receives the hardware or the trussing, it comes with all the hardware ready to connect.
This is very simple. Just one piece into another.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But as far as your question, does it connect with other brands and other companies, that sort of thing? Being that we adopted this design from Europe, it doesn't connect with the American style trussing. The American style trussing is a bolt together, end plated with 4 bolts, so it wouldn't connect with any of those brands. But there are other brands popping up, and quite frankly, in a general sense, you could say it should fit because it's the same style. But being that this thing is designed, so precisely, it's precision. A millimeter off here and there could really change things as far as the connection. And it definitely changes the weight capacity. It's inconsistent with the weight capacity. So I'd say I'd probably recommend, keeping one brand, keep it all the same.
That's a great suggestion too. I've come across that a couple times with some of my clients. Can you describe some of the differences between the different series of the truss? Like you might see on our website where you see F24, F34, F33. What are those differences exactly?
So the F34, the 30 series is our 12-inch truss. Right.
Is that this guy back here?
That's one of them there. That's the UJB, the Universal Junction Block.
Excellent.
And that's in the 12-inch series.
Okay.
And so this would be the F34, and the F33 in the same 12-inch footprint is a triangle version. So the even numbers is square, the odd numbers are the triangle, like the F24 is the square, and that's our 8-inch footprint. More decorative line, and F23 is the triangle decorative version, which is
like this guy back here.
Yep,
Right.
which is also happens to be the a la carte version, or a la carte, line for the popular truss system one and arch system. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to make it wider or taller, you use the F23 series, and then we have some of the we have F14, which is a 4-inch by 4-inch, and then we have F44, a 16-inch by 16.
Excellent. I know that you mentioned earlier that some of the trussing is great for branding, maybe for like a trade show booth or something. Probably one of the most common things that people don't know about is that we can also colorize or powder coat the trussing with a certain color. So, for example, we have a client whose colors are gold and purple. We can actually color coat them color and purple. And there's the wide variety from there. Is that right?
Absolutely. It's a very easy process. Just call ProSound for that. One of your one of your connections over here, and basically what they'll do is guide you to the RAL color scheme, and they can go to ralcolor.com, pick any of those colors, and it's a color system like the Pantone color system, right? Pick their color, and then it can be powder coated.
Excellent. We have a wide variety of colors too, so we can help out anybody pretty much. What are going to be some of the most common things that a buyer usually forgets when they're buying trussing?
I got to tell you, that's an easy one, right?
You've gotten this phone call a couple times, right?
I'm telling you, with all the trussing that goes out there, I'm surprised that clamps get forgotten. Clamps, I mean, typically when you get trussing, you're hanging lights, and how do you hang the lights? With clamps. Right, so it'd be clamps, and other than that, just extra hardware, extra couplers and pins and clips.
Okay. So we got a lot of clamps here that, you got a lot of clamps, and maybe sometimes they might get misplaced. Would you say it would be a good idea to maybe buy some extra clamps and maybe some extra pins and clips and couplers? And
definitely the hardware for sure. Always have extras. If you're out there in the middle of nowhere and you're doing a gig and you don't have those extra pieces, that one little piece is going to stop you from making your entire structure. That would definitely be frustrating.
Definitely would. Donald, thank you so much for joining us, man. Please be sure to join us here for other upcoming videos. You can follow us on social media at PSSL, Pro Sound and Stage Lighting, or you can also follow us on Twitter at PSSL. Donald, thank you so much once again, man.
Thanks.